mentioned Tupac's work ethic, and he was a hard worker. When my first time in the big studio with the big speakers, they call Osbergers, but with the big board, as I said, with the big studio. I was 17 years old, and it was a session with you. And at the time, I lived on 7th Ave in Slauson, and I caught the 210 bus to Adams, and I got off the bus so I could walk to Marlon's house to get the ride to the session. And I remember walking in the Enterprise with my horn. Me and the homies came, Kamasi, all over the horns. And you had the film thing up. You was doing beats. And I remember you came over there with the keyboard. You told us the horn lines to play. We played the horn line. When we was practicing the horn line in the next room, you had already moved on to a whole nother song, a whole nother situation. By the time we came out, we went back to that song, and you kept doing, you did 5 or 6 songs in this one day, beats, with a room full of people. From what I hear about stories that you've told me, that Snoop's told me, Tupac's work ethic, it was just through the roof, just with completing things. And I think that's something to be said for it. I want you to touch on that because in a lot of these areas that we come from in the inner city, whether it be the Crenshaw District, whether it be Southside Chicago, whether it be Omaha, Nebraska, Wichita, wherever it's at, and it's bad. I think a lot of us, especially for young black males, we have a problem with work ethic and completing things. And when I was sitting down at that movie, that's another lesson I learned throughout his court, his life, his ups and downs, and getting shot throughout all this, he never stopped working. Nothing never stopped him from working. When, if I go ask the homie, hey man, come to the studio. Well, you got $5 for gas. It's just, Tupac never, from what I learned from the film, he never stopped working. Was that a real thing too? Was he really like that?
Yeah, you know, that's one of the ways we connected on just the respect, because he saw me every day, all day. I had learned to focus and tune people out, and he like, man, you always in here. Like, where's everybody else at? I'm like, man, I don't know. I really don't have time to really think about what everybody else is doing. I know what I do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I attribute some of my work ethic to Death Row, because you know, you have to work with dog fights going on. You know what I'm saying? It's people standing over your shoulder with Hennessy spilling into the SSL board. You know, and you trying to work, and it's a fight over here, or this person getting.
By the way, that's Hennessy being spilled into $1 million situation.
Exactly, and then we could ruin everything, and so you got to tell this guy, hey man, you know what I'm saying, you can't drink that over here, and then now he wants to fight you, and you just trying to work, and then you gotta explain to him, why are you even in here? You don't rap, you don't make beats, why are you even in the studio? You in the studio just to show girls that you hang out in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And I always looked at, you know, Suge always say, well, I always knew you was gonna do certain things because of my work ethic. And I tried to be an example of that, because let me go to young black males and let me just focus in on that, because like I said, we're in the Crenshaw District. There's a lot of young black males around here who have to understand that in 2017, we gotta take all excuses out. Tupac took the excuses out. That's what I loved about Tupac. He took the excuses out. You could sit and you can gripe and you could ask to be paid up front and you could do this. And I told you a long time ago, it's like, it's not the right now money. You know what I'm saying? There's a process, and that process goes a certain way. So you can't trip over the small things knowing that the great things are coming. You know what I mean? And when you do like big deals, you know, that money goes through a certain process in the pipeline, but once you are in that system, that means that the people that cut those big checks, they know your name. There's a tax ID, you know what I'm saying? There's a social, you know, you're putting into the system. You understand what I'm saying? So what the messages that I like to tell our young black people is, you know, everybody, well, I got faith that this is gonna happen. Faith without works is dead.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta work, point blank. You know what I'm saying? There's no shortcuts. You say, okay, well, I ain't the school type. Well, you're gonna do 4 years of internship or 4 years of hard something before you go here. You're not gonna just, everybody with this boss stuff like that. That is an overrated statement. You're never gonna meet a general that wasn't a soldier. You're never gonna meet a teacher that wasn't a student. And you damn sure not gonna meet a boss that wasn't an employee.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's levels, and it's gonna be work. And Pac never complained. He just worked. He did it in spite of. That's where the poem, "The Rose That Grew from Concrete," meant so much, because we could sit around all day and complain about we don't have this, we don't have that, or we could just get in there and do it. Roll your sleeves up. Like, I'm not the typical Hollywood producer. I got in there, rolled my sleeves up, did the hard work, put it in, and we here. I could have sat back and said, well, they won't let me in. They won't let me make a movie. Okay. But then what?
Yeah.
Then I try to go to somebody else and quote unquote press them. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, in Los Angeles, it is the common thing. It's like, who does that, and how you figure that's gonna work for you?
Not in the world that you hope to be a part of.
Ain't gonna happen, because it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Matter, yeah.
It don't matter in that world, because, you know, at the end of the day, what would you get? You understand what I'm saying? No, not longevity. So Pac never had that mentality. He always said, never milk off the next man. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do, add something to that, and sooner or later, you'll get your own sack, as he would say it in his own words. You know what I mean? He said, yeah, I'll work with you, I'll sell your sack, I'll do that, but it ain't gonna be for long, because I know for a fact I'm gonna get my own sack at a certain point.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So in community, if we were all to stick together for 1 second, you know what I'm saying? Just 1 second, we could do miraculous things. But everybody on these individual missions, but a lot of people don't even have ability to drive those missions.
Yeah.
So how would I jump in the car with you when you don't even know how to drive?